What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and there was quietly a recent ban wave that went through YouTube that hit some very, very large channels, whether they were banned entirely and or removed from the YouTube partnership program, which is essentially as good as a ban on this platform. There's some cause for concern. Now, these particular channels are not content that I consume, but just like anyone else out there, I can simply just not consume it. And the YouTube partnership program removal of channels like Fresh and Fit and more, which we're going to discuss, is very concerning for content creators that may create content that is seen as, a little edgy or a little spicy. Now, I will admit that the Fresh and Fit show is not a show that I watch. I don't really care for this new model of content where you bring a bunch of girls on camera and people super chat to call them names while they also subscribe to their OnlyFans channels, which we know they do. But it's a type of content that's very popular, whether it is Fresh and Fit or that Sneeko character or Zherka or whatever this individual's name is. It's very popular. And there was a very, very public beef between Fresh and Fit and some other content creators based on their misuse of the copyright system and all sorts of that things around there. But Fresh and Fit is a YouTube channel with 1.5 million subscribers. Interestingly, their standalone content is relatively hit or miss. Sometimes it does really well. Sometimes it does. That's just pretty typical. But their live streams are where they really make their money based on super chats. And 2 days ago, they put out this stream, which has 400,000 views, and they're talking about getting removed from the YouTube partnership program, and they claim they don't know why. I think it's pretty obvious why they were. I only say that because it is obvious, not that I agree with it. They have had some very unsavory guests, and I think I'm putting this pretty fairly, and they have done some said some pretty heinous things, including basically straight up racism, and other natures, other kind of comments of that nature. But what I really think is YouTube is purging the modern red pill community. People like Fresh and Fit receiving a ban from YouTube partnership program. This individual, I don't know who it is. Zherka. This person has 100,000 Twitter followers and a YouTube channel that has 122,000 subscribers. Most of their content, from what I understand, most of their growth comes from shorts and things of that nature. Now, maybe they have another channel I don't know about, but they said, my whole YouTube can no longer be monetized. This was just a few days ago. Too angry to stream. There goes 30 bans a month for no reason. Now I can, unless there's another stream of income, I can unequivocally tell you that this individual is not making $30,000 a month on his YouTube channel, where one channel receives about 1,000 to 2,000 views per video, and their other channel receiving, again, this is the kind of, I don't know, again, if there's a channel I'm missing, but here's a channel that seems to be pretty active that receives 30 to 40,000 views per video. So all things aside, this channel probably makes $2,000 to $5,000 a month at most. Not that that's important. I just don't like when people lie or inflate their earnings. That said, you can see a lot of other people in the replies saying, here's Elijah Schaefer saying they pulled mine in 2021. 560,000 subscribers, can't make a single dollar there. They start messing with your reach too when they pull the money. That is also true. So a lot of people will say, a lot of people criticize me too of being, jumping over words and this, that, and the other thing. It's not really about money, because the bulk of the money that I earn comes from people supporting my coffee company or through sponsored ad reads. The actual AdSense or monetized revenue from YouTube has been basically going down and down and down, even though my views have stayed relatively consistent. It's the summertime too, so views go a little bit down. Oh, you see here's someone too. Yeah, your channel averages 5 million views a month, which most of which are probably shorts. You aren't making anywhere near $30,000 a month. Yeah, so yeah, I would agree with that. But again, it doesn't matter. It's non-relevant. I only comment on it because he did. So this individual also is kind of like I don't know, like a kind of a spicy streamer who also says some really inflammatory things. He's kind of a part of that same space, right? That same kind of manosphere, red pill content. I would suspect that Pearl will probably come up next. A lot of these people, now I don't know if he did, for example, but Fresh and Fit, their entire model was very simple. It would be bring in good-looking but used-up women, and then let people insult them for $100 per super chat. And then while the women would go on the show, because all the men insulting them in the chat would still be subscribing to their OnlyFans. This is just the nature of the economy. People say, why do these women go on these shows and just get dunked on endlessly? It's not because they're actually that stupid. It's because the male viewers who are endlessly roasting them are also subscribing to their OFs. You can see Tree of Logic saying Sneako's permabanned off YouTube. Zherka's channel gets demonetized 3 days later. Fresh and Fit Pod also gets demonetized. I would say that what you have here is YouTube saying we're going to end this format of having a panel of women. Another channel I would suspect would be, probably next might be the Whatever podcast, which is kind of this astroturfed channel that also has this same model where they just bring people who either pretend to be stupid or who are actually stupid, and then people super chat. It's a fine model. I don't find that content extremely interesting. I like to consume maybe a short where somebody gets dunked on here or there, just like anyone else. I'm only human. But it's going to be interesting to see, how this continues, how this spreads, because, you see here, obviously Abba and Preach, don't care for them. I don't have any affiliation with Abba and Preach. I enjoy their content. I don't know if they even know who I am or would care for my content at all. That's irrelevant. I just know that Abba and Preach have long had this ongoing beef that does very good for both sides in terms of generating content. I'm not sure why they shut comments off. That's a little odd. Or maybe that's something Abba and Preach have always done. I just didn't know that. But they also, by the way, disabled the like and dislikes. That's odd. Is that a new thing for Abba and Preach? That's odd. No, they didn't do it for this video, and they didn't do it for that video. So oddly, maybe the comment sections were getting too spicy. I'm not sure. But they clearly disabled the likes and dislikes. That's odd. Why would they do that? Anyway, they took a victory lap for basically 20 minutes. The reality is with this type of content that, these individuals were putting out, obviously I never agreed. I sided with Fresh and Fit with I sided with Abba and Preach when Fresh and Fit tried to do all these copyright strikes. But these individuals were doing some real, they were like calling other black people, they were doing just bad stuff. Obviously I can't repeat. But the bigger picture here is, have they now had enough of the red pill type community? What's next for channels like Whatever Podcast, just pearly things? Again, they all have the same format. Bring pretty girls in who pretend to be dumb and everyone makes a ton of money. That's capitalism, baby. That's fine. Again, not my type of content. But it's very interesting to see that they basically did this quietly. No one said anything. And these people have pretty decent sized audiences. You don't see anything trending on Twitter. You don't see anything, pushing back. I mean, it's very odd to me. The whole thing kind of just happened. Now, of course, they use this to get people to subscribe to their locals, which is exactly what you would do. But what's odd is, you see here, Myron was out here doing monkey chants with a mask on. What did you all expect? You guys aren't being censored. You're simply being fired. look, if you want to make the argument about, is being demonetized the same thing as being censored? No, it is not. However, it effectively is. Now, YouTube can certainly demonetize whoever they want, and it's a private business. But to pretend that, a business that, let's say, earns $20,000 a month, I'm not saying that's how much they earn, but let's just say that, right? And you allocate those funds to your employees and this, that, and the other thing. But when they take that money away, it effectively destroys your business. If you're a larger channel like these guys, they'll be able to pivot, sell merch, push people. It'll never be probably as good as it was for them on YouTube. But you see, not shocked it happened. Shocked it took this long to kick you off from the payment portion. People got kicked out way quicker for a lot less controversial things. It did have some unsavory gentlemen on the show who were also saying and doing some extremely unsavory things. But there are a lot of people that watch Fresh and Fit that feel like it's done really good things for them. A lot of people say they didn't get deplatformed, they got demonetized. If it's not about money, why the tiers? You can keep making YouTube videos. Look, the tiers are because you just have your entire business destroyed. Hey, they're on Rumble. They advertise their Rumble, rumble.com, and then they put their thing. Rumble doesn't have the kind of ad rev yet that YouTube does, but it does allow creators to use Rumble rants and things of that nature, which is a big part of their revenue stream. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this, kind of spreads to other of these like red pill type channels. I suspect it will. And I suspect an even bigger tightening down on monetization, because they just came out with a new, YouTube is now blocking if you don't agree with the WHO or something like that. I mean, things are going to get tight, and they're going to trim the edges. They're going to trim the channels that cause them problems. I hope you were informed for this video. Let's keep an eye on this one, obviously. We'll talk to you again real soon.